Since Digimon Ghost Game has ended, and with no currently airing Digimon anime to watch week to week, you might find yourself wondering what is next for the franchise, or you might be thinking about what other Digimon releases are around to enjoy while you wait for the next Digimon TV series. So, this is something that I've seen around various points of social media, around different Digimon communities and fandoms and little subgroups within the community, and people wondering how they can enjoy Digimon at the moment because Ghost Game has ended, and for some people, maybe the Digimon anime is the main thing of the franchise that they like. So I thought I'd go through a few different options that you have of ways you can enjoy the Digimon franchise while we still have no news on whatever the next Digimon anime TV series is. So first of all, in the anime realm of Digimon, while the TV series has ended and there's no news on the next TV series, there is of course the upcoming 02 movie. Now this movie is titled Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning, and it's out in Japan on October 27th of this year, so 2023. Now, this is another sequel to Digimon Adventure in 02, Tri, and Kizuna, with it taking place after Kizuna, but focuses more around the 02 kids, whereas Tri and Kizuna more focused on the original Adventure Chosen, Taichi, Yamato, etc. And 02 obviously focusing around the 02 kids being Daisuke and Ken, Miyako, and that group of Chosen. So this is exciting because I really love 02, and while I didn't really enjoy Kizuna or Tri, I'm still fairly hopeful that I'll be able to enjoy this one. Again, I love the 02 kids, I love 02, so this is fairly exciting, and I kind of want to see what's the next story for the 02 kids, and again, it's something else that's meant to lead towards the epilogue that we get in 02, so that's pretty exciting. However, I'm wondering if this is like the final adventure movie. They keep on saying that every iteration of adventure is like the final story for Taichi and the others. This is also meant to be the final story, but it's also called The Beginning, so there are many ways that it can go. I'm wondering if, after the events of Kizuna, how the rest of the Chosen are going to be handling things, or if it's going to be just 02 kids and we won't see anything about the original Chosen. But, you know, we don't know much about the movie, but it is coming out at the end of the year, or rather in late October, so that's something to look forward to for the end of the year. Of course, there's also a series that's not an anime, but it's still a series nonetheless, and that is the upcoming Digimon Seekers, which I've spoken about in previous videos. Now, Digimon Seekers is starting in April, so fairly soon. It's not an anime, as I mentioned, it's being released as a web novel. I'm really looking forward to this, as it's something fairly new to the franchise, and I'm a big fan of the Vital Bracelet. I'm really happy that the Vital Bracelet wasn't like this one and done kind of thing. I'm glad that it was used in Digimon Ghost Game in the anime. It was of course used in Digimon Dreamers, which is still running, and if you're interested in Digimon Dreamers, it unfortunately doesn't have a release outside of Japan as of recording this, but I have been covering it and translating it on this very YouTube channel, so you can check that out if you haven't already. It's a fun story with fun characters. It's a comedy kind of manga. It's really, really great. And it, again, uses the Vital Bracelet. And as does Digimon Seekers. So I'm really glad that wasn't just going to be ditched, like, before even Ghost Game. I'm glad that Ghost Game continued on, but I'm glad it hasn't been ditched after Ghost Game's finished. And I'm glad they're using it in Digimon Seekers as well. So Digimon Seekers, if you're interested in, like, light novel kind of stories, this is going to be running for the next year, I believe, so that's exciting, and the first bunch of chapters are going to be released in the first week of April. So that's something to look forward to, and it's something that's more it's coming sooner than the 02 movie, which is still a few months away. So there is the novel that you can enjoy. In terms of video games, we do know that there is a new Digimon story game that's being worked on. We found out more about it last year at Digimon Con, but it wasn't mentioned at this year's Digimon Con. I can't imagine us getting any more news about it until, presumably there's a new Digimon Con next year, so I can't imagine we hear anything about it until next year's Digimon Con, being February 2024. This year's Digimon Con was focused mostly around Digimon Seekers and announcing that Digimon Seekers was going to be coming out. So next year, maybe the focus is going to be around gaming, because this year's didn't really have much to do about the video game. So we do know that there is that new Digimon story game coming out. It doesn't have a title. It is probably not going to be tied into Hacker's Memory or Cyber Sleuth. It's just a new story title, which means that it is more RPG focused. It's more similar to Persona or the previous Digimon story games in being a JRPG. Of course, if you're looking for games for Digimon that have already been released, you do have some more recent releases that you can jump in and play, and that I do recommend. So I recommend Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory if you like games like Persona, Survive if you like games like Danganronpa, and Next Order if you want a game that is an RPG with virtual pet raising mechanics. So those are the 3 games that I recommend. I enjoyed all 3 of them. My favourite of the 3 was Survive, but I always will recommend Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory over it, because it is genuinely easy to pick up, and as I said, Survive is like a Danganronpa kind of point and click game with visual novel elements like Danganronpa. However, Survive does also have tactical RPG aspects to it as well. It's not for everyone, but it is my favourite of the Digimon games that we've had more recently. So those are the 3 that you can play while you wait for the next Digimon story game. There is, of course, also the Digimon TCG, which is very popular. I don't play it, but I hear great things about it. I did collect the cards up to, I think, the 11th set, so I do like the art. I basically just collected the cards for the art, but a lot of people do love the card game. So if you are interested in card games, you can just pick up starter decks and starter sets and kind of play with those while you wait for any other Digimon releases. The TCG also has pretty regular releases, be it booster sets and starter decks, so that's something to kind of keep you entertained, I guess, with all their common releases, I guess. They feel like they're releasing every month just about. But if the TCG is not your deal and you really just like Digimon for the anime TV seasons that it has, I recommend watching any season of the Digimon anime that you haven't watched already. Now, I will always take this opportunity to recommend that you watch Digimon Universe Apply Monsters, or Appmon, because everything that Ghost Game did wrong, Appmon previously did right. I love Appmon. It is my favourite series of Digimon. I did also enjoy Ghost Game, but I feel like any complaints that I had that Ghost Game did, and a lot of complaints that I see other people have about Ghost Game, are things that Appmon did correctly. So I definitely recommend watching Appmon if you haven't already. I know that a lot of people did skip it for many reasons. It didn't appeal to them. It looked too different. It looked like it was aimed at a younger audience, or just it just never came up as something that they wanted to watch. Another reason could be that Crunchyroll didn't pick up Appmon for a few years after its release, so that could have something to do with it as well. But as always, I recommend Appmon. It's on Crunchyroll, so if you were watching Ghost Game on Crunchyroll week to week, you might even still have a subscription that you can watch Appmon. So yay. There's also other seasons of the anime as well. I believe that all of Cross Wars is also on Crunchyroll. I do like Cross Wars. I feel like it's a fairly overhated season. It's not one of my favourites at all. It's probably maybe it's in 5th place out of all my seasons that I've watched. but it is still fine if you haven't watched that. A lot of people also skipped that for similar reasons. It looked too different from regular Digimon. They didn't have the same levels. It had a younger demographic. But again, that's also something that you could watch because maybe you skipped it along with Atmon, or just any of the anime seasons that you haven't watched. Just go through, maybe rewatch them if you've already seen them all, because maybe you haven't seen the original adventure for a while. Maybe you want to watch that. So the anime's still there. The old seasons haven't gone away, so you can go watch that if you really just want to watch the anime. But I do recommend trying a series like Atmon if you haven't watched Atmon already. I've made many videos on why people should watch Atmon because it's my favourite series of Digimon, and I really enjoy everything that Atmon does. And again, everything that Ghost Game didn't do, or didn't do well, Ghost Game did, and did correctly. And then, of course, there's the toys for Digimon, and there's lots of them because it's basically a toy franchise. Bandai are basically a toy company. So the V-Pets most recently have the Digital Monster Color, which is basically a re-release of the original Digimon version 1 and version 2 with some quality of life improvements. It's also USB rechargeable, and of course, it's in color, so that's something that people have been asking for a long time. There's also the Vital Bracelet. Again, big fan of the Vital Bracelet. If you have a fairly busy life and may not have time to check a virtual pet all the time and you want to kind of have less interaction with it, maybe more passively raise it, you can just wear it on your wrist, especially if you like gamified fitness. I love gamified fitness. It's my favorite thing. I have wanted something like the Vital Bracelet for Digimon for so long. So big fan that they actually finally did something like that. So if you haven't already picked up a Vital Bracelet, you can buy them online. This video is not sponsored by anyone, but you can get them from Zen and TCG, Japan You Want. Hobbylink Japan, I believe, also have some. And those are the three main places that I get my Digimon stuff from. So check out Zen and TCG, Japan You Want, Hobbylink Japan. Those are kind of my main ones. Again, this video is not sponsored by them. I just really like those three stores, and they're my go-to stores for getting all of my Digimon stuff. In a similar way, and this is another recommendation, there are also Digimon model kits, which I just adore these. I think they look really good. They're not too expensive, and they're not too hard to put together, and they look great. Some of them just look fantastic, much better than maybe even the gem figures, which are very pricey. So I recommend the model kits. Again, you can get these from Japan You Want, Hobbylink Japan, Zen and TCG, or anywhere that sells model kits. You can get them from a lot of toy stores. They also have a more international release, so you may not even have to import them from overseas stores. You can probably just get them from, if you're in Australia, EB Games have them, so you can just go to EB Games and pick them up. They may even have them in stock right there. You can go in person and buy something Digimon related. In any case, those are my recommendations for toys, and that basically sums up everything Digimon that's more of the more recent releases and things you can consume while you're waiting for the next Digimon anime series, which could be a while. We don't have any news or any leaks about any new Digimon series. Of course, back to anime, if you really want to watch the anime, Digimon Adventure : is getting a dub relatively soon. We don't have a date, but as far as I recall, it's meant to be in the next month or so. That's meant to be happening. And Ghost Game is meant to have a dub too at some point. So maybe you're a person who just watches dubs, and maybe you've been waiting for a dub of either Colon or Ghost Game, and those are apparently coming eventually. Colon soon, Ghost Game eventually. So you can also just wait on those, but they don't have any firm dates. But they are something that you can watch if you so desire. I'm very much looking forward to Seekers. I think that's my main thing that I'm looking forward to, and it's not that far away. It's only a few days away from me recording this video. Of course, I'll be covering it on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed to that, especially if you enjoyed my coverage of Ghost Game, and I look forward to hearing everyone's thoughts about Seekers as each chapter releases. So those are my thoughts about things that you can jump into while you wait for Digimon to have a new anime TV series, and a few list of things that are coming out in the nearish future. Of course, if you're watching this like 10 years from now, it's probably very dated, so have fun with this extremely out-of-date list. But if you're watching this now, these are my recommendations. As I mentioned, as of recording this, Digimon Seekers hasn't started yet, so if this is in the future and you're watching this and Digimon Seekers is just terrible, I don't know. I don't have the ability to see in the future. I can't see if Digimon Seekers is actually going to be good or not. It's just something that I mentioned as something that is coming out. Same with the 02 movie. These are things that are coming out in the future that you can look forward to. But in any case, those are my thoughts for things you can watch now that Ghost Game has finished. Let me know your thoughts, comments, and questions in the comment section below. Like this video for hope that Digimon Seekers is good. I'm hoping that's good. It looks good. It looks like something that is quite interesting. I'm glad that they are seemingly making something for older fans. That's great. But also, sometimes they try to be too much of a nostalgia dive, and I don't want like cheap nostalgia bait like Digimon Adventure stuff usually is, but Digimon Seekers being separate from Adventure makes me kind of hopeful. So like this video for the hope that Digimon Seekers is good, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have subscribed, tell your neighbours, tell your friends, tell your family, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!